Welcome to another fabulous Starseed video where I'm going to be talking all about the hidden realm of Apollonia and Apollonian starseeds. Welcome to my channel, the Starseed Sanctuary. My name is Dr. Heather, and I am thrilled to just be bringing this to you. This is one of my most ancient star homes, and it's a really important one that I'm just excited to share with you. So thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of the fabulous Starseed, galactic, cosmic healing and awakening content that I love to create. So let's dive into Apollonia. So in this Apollonian Starseed super session, I am so excited to share with you because this is one of my favorite galactic groups, one of my most ancient celestial homes. We're going to talk all about the garden, the galactic garden world of Apollonia, Apollonian galactic history, herstory, I should say, Apollonia's connection to Lemuria and Atlantis, the different beings of Apollonia, Apollonian DNA, some flowers and crystals of Apollonia, Apollonian starseed traits, and then also we'll cover some Apollonian starseed codes, how to discover your connections to this ancient elemental galactic fairy realm. All right, let's dive in. So, Apollonia was originally a group of 8 planets located near Alpha Centauri in the Centaurus constellation. Apollonians were very peace loving, technical, and focused on developing knowledge in many different areas, including their deep connection to gardening, flowers, plants, and crystals. The plants of Apollonia consisted of lush garden worlds full of colorful flowers, plants, crystal temples, and they loved creating new and vibrant species of flowers. They enjoyed spending the majority of their time outdoors, connected to their land, and channeling magic into their utopian garden world. At the time when Earth was being colonized by other groups from different planets, Apollonia was experiencing some difficulty with some of the beings that inhabited Alpha Centauri. Eventually, there was a long period of war that developed between these two groups. The warlike group who lived on Alpha Centauri were the Alphadrons, and they wanted to control the planets of Apollonia. Now, not all of the beings from Alpha Centauri are in that group. There are many benevolent groups that inhabited Alpha Centauri, but this one particular group was more nefarious, more focused on power and control. After a number of attempts by the Alphadrons at taking over the Apollonian planets, this war was entered into. Although the Apollonians deeply disliked any type of physical violence and would only respond in times of dire need with self-defense. They were a very peace-loving elemental realm that wasn't even something in their consciousness to think about war, power, domination, and control. So during this period of war, which lasted many years, 2 of the planets of Apollonia were destroyed. And this led the Apollonians to make an agreement with the Alphadrons. So the Apollonians would be left in peace upon the largest remaining planet, while the Alphadrons would be given the other planets in return for agreeing to never again interfere with Apollonia. This was agreed to out of the desire to end the existence of fear and hate upon their planets and to avoid the loss of other planets and those who lived upon them. So they were allowed to evacuate all Apollonians from the 5 remaining planets, which were surrendered to the Alphadrons and then just kept their main planetary hub. Due to these events, only 1 planet of Apollonia remains at this time. And currently, the planet of Apollonia is occupied in layers of dimensional reality. It's kind of like tucked away in a galactic elemental realm, similar to the fairy or elemental realm here on Earth, closer to the Pleiades than Alpha Centauri now. And there are layers of 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensional reality, which occupy the planet independently. So, in this way, there's no problems with population or with living space. People don't inhabit like the 3D form there. They're higher dimensional beings that exist with their consciousness, their light bodies, their plasma bodies. So, this was the focus of development through technology after the agreement with the Alphadrons, which left them with less physical space to inhabit for the Apollonians. They just had that one main planet. So, they really became this multi-dimensional, layered, right, in this galactic hidden realm, this galactic elemental realm in the layers of the quantum field. So during that period of war with Alpha Centauri, there were several groups from Apollonia who were sent to Earth, along with several other planets, to colonize and ensure the survival of their planetary heritage should the total destruction of Apollonia occur. And these were very friendly groups, partially due to their awareness that this must become their new home on Earth and the realization that their true home might be destroyed. Apollonians also strongly remember the manner in which they were treated by the Alphadrons and were determined to treat those on Earth with integrity. These are very gentle, kind hearted souls. There were three groups who came to Earth. One settled in Europe in an area which is now France. The second in North America in an area which is kind of now considered Colorado. And the third came to various areas of Australia. In the three locations, Apollonians interacted with Earth peoples during the times of Lemuria and Atlantis out of the intent to help and were willing to share large amounts of healing knowledge along with knowledge of energy use and crystal technology. They were quite looked up to, honored, and respected by the early peoples of Earth in those different timelines from Lemuria and Atlantis. In time, they began to interbreed with Earth peoples out of fondness and love for one another. There are legends referring to their arrival by ship to Earth throughout history. And much of the Apollonian technology, which was shared with Earth, revolved around the use of crystals, the energies of nature, and communicating with animals. There are currently a small number of volunteers from Apollonia on Earth, Apollonian Starseeds, to help the Earth regain its former frequency and glory. And much of the current contact with those from Apollonia is to reestablish contact with those who originate from Apollonian. So, the beings of Apollonia. There are several races from Apollonia, including galactic fae or fairies, elementals, and humanoids. Those from Apollonia are very tall. The humanoids there are very tall, normally 7 to 8 feet. They have shades of magenta to blue, blue green, and some even have like a triangular shaped head or a round head for the females. And they generally communicate telepathically and often work physically with those who are contacted, such as with healing and physical rejuvenation. So, Apollonian DNA, as with many different galactic ancestors, bits of DNA was brought to Earth from Apollonia during the period of creation that was used to create on Earth a number of different animal, plant, crystal, and stone life forms. And some of these are as follows. So, Apollonian DNA helped create one of my favorites, artichokes. Love it. It makes a lot of sense since this is one of my home worlds. Zucchini, grapes, walnut, starfruit, horseradish, and olives. Some flowers that DNA from Apollonia helped to create on Earth are wisteria and chamomile, thistle and passion flower. And some crystals of Apollonia that Apollonian DNA helped to create here on Earth are pyrite, fool's gold, and clear quartz, one of the most used crystals here on Earth, a master conductor, a master healer. Some of that DNA comes from Apollonia. So let's talk a little bit now about this Apollonia starseed frequency and different Apollonian starseed traits. So those who originate from Apollonia often embody the following energetic signatures and traits. They're very kind, they're very gentle, creative, and highly empathic. There tends to be this outer, smooth, loving energy. Yet there's also this aura of excitement or anticipation with lots of vibrant pinks and soft purples throughout their energy fields and their auras. And they might even, starseeds that come from Apollonia or that have had lives connected to this planet, might even see those colors frequently in meditation or when they're doing any type of spiritual work. They love to travel and find new experiences. And if it's not possible to travel, they might find other ways to change their views and surroundings, like moving often, redecorating, hobbies, or even multidimensional or astral travel. There can sometimes be a little bit of a tendency to get bored easily and even to dramatize events to create excitement if they feel like it's lacking or if they feel like their lives are really boring. They can get understimulated, but need a little stimulation, right? And they love to learn. They really love to learn. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Okay, there we go. The Apollonian starseeds and beings from Apollonia really love to learn and add to their many talents. There's often an interest in taking classes and developing many abilities. And some people even see them as like eternal students. They're always learning something new or they're always doing like a new certification for something. But they don't really like to be limited to any one definition. They're not just jacks of all trades, they're really masters of many different skill sets. And any attempt to label or limit them by others is very strongly and instantly resisted. This is one instance where the normally calm Apollonian will show a more dramatic reaction, like, hey, don't box me in, don't try to fit me in. There is this deep desire to be self sufficient and avoid this need to depend on others financially, emotionally, or otherwise. Apollonians need to remind themselves to enjoy life and take time for pleasure as they tend to be rather serious. Many work on Earth as healers and feel a very deep connection to the Earth and her needs. There's often an early recognition of energy fields, auras, spirit friends, or angels, and they're very drawn to spiritual learning. There's a strong love of beauty and nature, and they use this to heal themselves and find peace. And they often consider themselves exotic or take pleasure in being different. They're very unique. They're very unique people. These Apollonian starseeds, when they are in human form on Earth and otherwise, they just have such a different energetic signature than some of the other groups. So Apollonian starseed codes. Definitely get out your natal star chart, your birth chart if you have it nearby. If you don't have a copy, you can get a free one on astro.com or the Time Passages app, or both great free resources. So there is a beautiful asteroid named Apollonia. If you've followed any of my starseed forecast or you're subscribed to my Galactic Gazette free newsletter, I often follow and track this asteroid because it is a big indicator in the natal chart. And I like to see what it's doing in transits too. So if you have asteroid Apollonia conjunct your ascendant, that is a very clear sign of your most recent star home or incarnation prior to this Earth life was connected to Apollonia. Asteroid Apollonia conjunct any natal planets, especially the Sun, Moon, Venus, or Pluto. Asteroid Apollonia in opposition or square to Alpha Centauri. So Alpha Centauri is located around 25 to 29 degrees of Scorpio. So that would be asteroid Apollonia around those degrees in Taurus. For opposition or square would be 25 to 29 degrees Aquarius or Leo. If asteroid Apollonia happens to be in your natal chart in the first, fourth, eighth, or 12th house, also a pretty clear indicator of connections to this magical land. Asteroid Apollonia conjunct or trine Haumea, one of the minor evolutionary planets, also an asteroid in astrology, as well as Sedna, Eris, and Salacia, and connections to the Pleiadians and the Venusians, because these are kind of sister star systems, sister planets, and allies that have a similar but very different frequency than Apollonia. And so that is pretty much it, you guys, for my Apollonian Starseed super session here. Some of these resources come from Where Are You Really From by Joe Amadon, the Fixed Stars blog, and over 400 Starseed astrology and Akashic records readings and counting. So I really appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you so much. And please take a minute to subscribe to my newsletter below so you can stay up to date with all of my offerings. Thank you again, and sending you galaxies of love and gratitude.